Cystic Fibrosis Workout Warriors inspire others living with CF to incorporate fitness into their care routines and represent everything the Team Boomer program stands for.
I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis when I was 3 months old. Most of my life I was pretty involved in athletics, so there was a lot of shock and surprise. I think people were taken aback that someone with a lung disease was on a soccer field, in a swimming pool, running races. There were times when I was sick, when it was harder to hide the fact that I had a lung disease, and then there were other times where I was in between exacerbations and it was a little easier to go about day-to-day living. Cystic fibrosis is interesting. There's definitely a lot of challenges at all stages. There's stuff in the beginning of life, there's stuff in the middle of life, and there's stuff where I am now. I think as a kid, there were certainly challenges around understanding that I was different and that I had a lung disease and that it was progressive in nature and that my lifespan was potentially shortened compared to the people that I was running around with. My folks were way ahead of the curve. I think they always had an attitude, and they instilled in me that this disease wasn't going to stop me, that we would deal with things as they arose as a family unit, but it was okay to dream, and it was okay to put the work in to achieve my dreams. The New York City Marathon is probably one of my favorite days of the year. Preparing for that day it's a feeling that's hard to describe when you cross the finish line. I think for me, the 4 times that I crossed the finish line in New York City, those are moments that I'll never forget. Before the pandemic, working out was a lot of running. Since the pandemic started, that has changed a little bit. We were fortunate enough where the Boomer Esiason Foundation gifted us a Peloton a couple years ago, so I've really been able to take advantage of the bike and all it offers from a fitness perspective, which has really been game-changing because now I don't have to leave the house to get a workout in. To push yourself through soccer or running or riding a bike to strengthen the lungs. I think the reason why I do it now is because I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I need to make sure that I'm around a long time for my family. So Team Boomer to me is special. Athletics have always held a place in my heart and a place in my life that is unique. I think the relationships that I've been able to establish with the folks at the foundation and has enabled me to build relationships with people that have the same goal in mind, and that's to raise money to support people who are living with cystic fibrosis, to help drive continued research and innovation, and ultimately make sure that we're able to live just as normal a life as everybody else. I think it's always nice when the Boomer Esiason Foundation reaches out and wants to highlight your accomplishments or your work ethic. I think being named a workout warrior is a nice recognition of what we try to do as a family and what I've tried to do as an individual to stay healthy. And my goal with part of that program is to hope that inspires other people with CF to stay active, because for me, that's how I've been able to stay so healthy. I'm a big believer in exercise and the value it offers from a health perspective, and I just hope others are able to see that as well.
This video series was made possible by support from DCU.